Welcome to today's training. As you can see from the title of this video, we are going to talk about how to stop letting 7-year-olds bully you, aka a field manual for self-authorization. Before I go through the overview, the premise is pretty simple. You are stuck because your nervous system is still obeying rules that were installed before you even had a say in them. And you might think that you have a motivation problem when in reality you have a permission problem. Most adults are still running a behavior operating system built for a child who needed approval, protection, and belonging just to survive. You are no longer a child. This manual is how to update the authority. So, quick overview of what we are going to be covering today. Childhood rulebook, the permission problem, the hidden operating system, the rewrite protocol, identity installation, practical science, installing new rules with a step-by-step, system override protocols, and then we'll do a little review of what we've seen today. Let's jump right into it. The childhood rulebook. So I'd start with where the rules actually began. A child's brain learns through repetition and emotion, not logic. When the same message shows up with a strong feeling around them, the nervous system stores them as truth instead of opinions. Do you remember how approval felt when you were little? If you lost approval, you risked losing care, food, and protection. And so the body concluded that you must stay acceptable in order to stay safe. Now, notice how kids don't evaluate rules, they just absorb them. So if your voice provoked frowns, the body learned that quiet equals love. If achievement brought you praise, it learned that worth is earned. If big feelings drew distance, it learned that emotions are a problem. So you grew up, but the rules didn't, and new people appear. Then you had teachers, peers, bosses, partners, and audiences. But the same pattern runs underneath the surface, which is wait until it's safe to be seen. This is how childhood conditioning becomes adult hesitation. So now we're getting to the permission problem. Why is it that you pause before doing things? Your brain still acts like there is someone else that has to approve your message before, or your move before you make it, because that was once a rule that kept you safe. The problem is now you're an adult and the authority disappeared, but the rule still remained in your head, that is. And this is why the sensation feels like not confident when the issue is actually not authorized. Do you ever notice how you behave like there's still a panel that's judging you and every choice you're trying to make? So you edit, you rehearse, and you hold back as if someone had to stamp it valid. The problem is delay is often disguised as wisdom. And you tell yourself, I'm being careful, but underneath the careful is a contract that you never signed consciously, which is do nothing until it can't cost approval. So where do these rules actually live? They live in sensations and they live in feelings. This is the implicit memory where you don't recall the lesson, you just react from it. The body fires before the mind is able to explain because survival beats self-expression in speed. Now, the brain favors the familiar over the beneficial. If shrinking kept you safe as a kid, then shrinking will feel right. If silence prevented conflict, then silence will feel smart. Familiar equals safe, and safe equals repeat. And then here's the loop. So hesitation feels mature, perfection feels responsible, waiting feels strategic. Inside the body, it's none of those. It is a prevention reflex that the nervous system learned a long time ago. Confidence isn't a thought that you think, it is a state that your body allows or doesn't. So when the body still equates exposure with danger, affirmations won't move the needle at all. Only new evidence of self-authorization changes that state. So you don't need brighter thoughts, you need a new authority. And this is how we're going to do it with the rewrite protocol. So I'm going to make this practical for you. Ask a clean question. Where am I still waiting for approval that doesn't exist? And I need you to say it out loud. Your nervous system will point to the spots automatically. You'll usually find it here. Expression, which is sharing your ideas. Visibility, which would be posting or presenting. Asking, that would be pricing, selling, or raising standards. Desire, stating what you actually want. And then we have identity, which is being who you are without rounding the edges. Whenever you hesitate, you still obey to someone that no longer exists. Now, what we need to do is separate the timelines. The child needed permission to survive. The adult needs permission to self-govern. Very different. So one is about safety from others, and the other is about sovereignty within yourself. So you don't delete the rules by arguing with them. You replace them with stronger ones. So it's not I should need approval. It's not I shouldn't need approval, which keeps you debating the old frame, but I am the one who decides what is valid, what is worth doing, and what is worth sharing. So now that we have that, we can install an identity. Belief sticks when the body accepts them. We don't feel self-authorized first. You act from self-authorization until the feeling follows. Think in terms of reps, just like at the gym. The brain changes through repeated behavior. Private promises do not build new identity. Visible action does, because visibility adds just enough pressure to matter. So I would suggest making some things in public on purpose. If you write, publish what you write, post it. Ask at full price. State your preference. Each visible move teaches the body that we can do this and we can survive. This is the important part. We think we're going to die from this. We're not. Action creates evidence, and evidence updates identity, and then identity fuels more action. And once the loop runs a few cycles, then you'll begin to notice that hesitation will start to feel inaccurate. All right. Now we're going to do a quick tour in the brain, really quick, really brief, just so you get the science behind it. So the limbic system will flag social threats fast, and actually faster than you can reason. And then you have the prefrontal cortex. This is your planner and sense maker. So it can aim at a goal, but under a perceived threat, the limbic signals will throttle execution. I feel like there's someone at the door. Translation, you know exactly what to do, but you don't fucking do it. Okay, this is what it means. And also approval used to deliver dopamine, and this made the approval-seeking loop chemically rewarding. But when you shift to self-authorization, you are rewiring reward through evidence of alignment instead of applauses. So what actually updates the system? It is repeated, tolerable exposure to being seen as you are and discovering that you are safe. Safety is learned the same way that fear was, through experience. This, my friend, is the whole game. So how do we install these new rules? Quick step by step. I start by naming one rule that you still obey, and then keep it simple. Do not be seen unless it's perfect, or don't ask unless they offer first, stuff like that. Write the adult rule in clean language somewhere. I'm not a child anymore. I am allowed to be seen while becoming better. I ask at full value. I say whatever, here we go again. I say whatever the fuck I want before approval appears. Turn the rule into one visible behavior today, and short is fine. Publish the draft, quote the price, and say the preference. The point is not production value. And then you do it again tomorrow, and then you do it again the next day, and the following day, and the following day, again and again and again. You are not proving worth to the world. You are teaching the body the new normal. All right. I'll let you check the system override protocols on your own terms. I'll leave it on the screen for a bit while I go over the review. What we've seen today is that childhood rules were built for safety, not truth. That these rules do not expire on birthdays. They repeat until they are replaced. What you call overthinking is often a permission check. We've seen that confidence is a state, and evidence changes states. We have learned that behavior leads, identity follows, and belief settles it. When you stop outsourcing authority, you stop outsourcing your life.